Hello and welcome. My name is Christina from Empowered Creator. I am a mindset and conscious manifesting teacher and coach, and this is my YouTube channel. Here I talk about all things law of assumption, mindset, conscious manifesting, the quantum universe, and a lot more. And my goal is to simplify everything without the fluff. So if you guys like this content and you would like to see more of it, I would love it if you would subscribe to this channel, comment on this video, like it, share it, and just stick around. Also, if you need any help with your specific situation, I offer one-on-one coaching, email coaching, small group coaching, as well as custom subliminals for whatever needs you may have. So if you're interested in any of these services, the links are below in the description box. Click on them and they're going to take you to my website. With all that being said, let's dive into today's video. In today's video, we're going to discuss why taking your specific person off the pedestal can actually speed up your manifestation, can actually help you manifest them, whatever it is that you're manifesting with them, much, much faster. And the reason why this is happening is not just from the manifestation point of view, it's not just from the metaphysical point of view, it's also from a psychology point of view, from a mindset point of view, from a more scientific point of view. So I wanted to go into that a little bit today and discuss that part of taking an SP off the pedestal, or any person off the pedestal for that matter, and why doing so can actually greatly help your manifestation. So this is what I'll be discussing today in today's video. Stay tuned. So if you've been in the manifesting community for any amount of time, manifesting a specific person, I'm sure you will have heard a lot of coaches say, you need to take your specific person off the pedestal. What you don't always hear though is the explanation of why it works like that, why things are like that, what is the scientific reason behind not putting someone on the pedestal and it actually speeding up your manifestation. So this is what I'll be discussing today. So from the mindset point of view, from the more scientific point of view, there are actually two reasons why this is the case. The first reason has to do with the power dynamics within the relationship, and this applies to any relationship, by the way, even if you're in no contact with your specific person right now. And the second reason has to do with self-love, self-esteem, and self-concept in general. So the first reason, as I said, has to do with power dynamics within the relationship. And when I say relationship, take it to mean as connection in general. It doesn't have to mean being specifically in a relationship. You can be in a friendship with your person. You can be no contact. You can be friends with benefits. You can be just acquaintances. It can even be someone who you haven't met yet in person. It applies to any and all scenarios of manifesting a specific person. So when I talk about power dynamics in a relationship, I simply refer to who of the two people needs the other one more. Usually, when we put our specific person on a pedestal, it means that we need them more than they need us at this time. It means that we need something from them more than them needing something from us. So if your specific person is on a pedestal right now, it means that you need whatever it is that you need from them more than they need whatever it is that they need, if anything, from you. So for example, you may need a relationship from that specific person. You may need a family. You may need a long-term commitment. You may need their approval. You may need their validation. You may need their confirmation. You may need a combination of the things that I mentioned or other things that I haven't mentioned. And the reason why you've put them on a pedestal is because you perceive whatever it is that you need from them as something difficult to get, as something unattainable, as something that maybe you cannot get very easily from them, even as something that you might perceive as impossible to get from them. You perceive it as something super hard, something almost super unlikely. And so the more you perceive it as unlikely, the more you perceive it as difficult, and the more you feel like you need it, the more you put it on a pedestal. And what your specific person receives from that exchange, that energetic exchange, like I said, you might even be in no contact, but they still receive your energy subconsciously, okay? So what they receive from you on the subconscious level is that need to obtain something from them. You basically need them to give you something that you perceive as something that is going to complete you, something that is going to fulfill you, something that is going to make you happy, something that is going to make your life much happier. And so you cling on that, you put them on a pedestal, you start depending your happiness on that thing being achieved, on that thing being manifested. And so your specific person is receiving subconsciously from you that energy of lack, that energy of, I need you to make me happy on some level or other. Which is why when you finally start taking them off the pedestal, It means that you start communicating energetically and subconsciously that you don't need them, that you can be happy already as you are happy and whole as you are, that they're not unattainable, or that thing that you feel like you need it from them is not unattainable, is not that hard, is not that impossible to get. So the more you take them off the pedestal, the more your energy changes, the more your energy shifts into an energy that is actually free-flowing, into an energy that allows them to come to you and actually fulfill your desires and actually want to make you happy on their own accord, without getting that energetic exchange where you're feeling needy and obsessed and you're feeling like you cannot have them. And instead, they're now starting to receive a more pure and more relaxed energy from you, which opens the way for them to come to you. The second thing about self-love, self-concept, self-esteem, I actually heard a love coach some time ago put it very, very aptly, where he said, you cannot love the other person more than you love yourself. This doesn't mean that you're playing mind games with them. This doesn't mean that you are going to start feeling superior to them. You're equal to them, just as they're equal to you. Okay, we're not talking about superiority and inferiority here, or any type of mind games or dating games or anything like that. But when you love the other person more than you love yourself, it means that you put them above yourself. It means that you put your needs second. It means that you don't prioritize yourself. It means that you may not be speaking up for yourself. It means that maybe you don't even have any healthy boundaries with them at all. And usually what is behind all this, on some level at least, is some sort of fear of losing them. So if you're scared that you might actually lose them, then that makes you make all sorts of concessions, all sorts of compromises that maybe you wouldn't even make otherwise. So for example, you give in to their every request, you give in to their every demand, you put your life on hold for them, you don't grow yourself, you don't develop yourself, you put your goals on hold, perhaps. Your life starts revolving around them, your life starts revolving around their approval. And so essentially, you don't cultivate your own self-esteem. You're not your own person. You are someone who's living for them. You're someone who's living to please them, and you leave yourself second. What happens when we do that is that the energy that they receive from us subconsciously on an energetic level is an energy of, I'm not prioritizing myself, therefore you should not prioritize me either. Because remember, we've said multiple times how each and every person in our life, including your specific person, even especially your specific person, is your mirror, is a mirror of your inner world. So if the mirror is projecting, I'm not prioritizing myself, the reflection from the mirror, which is them, your specific person, is also going to reflect, I'm not going to prioritize you. So if you're not holding yourself in high esteem, if you're not loving yourself enough, if you're loving them more than you're loving yourself, if you're putting them always first, above yourself and over yourself, then this is what you're communicating to them subconsciously. That you are first, I am second. Therefore, the way they're going to treat you, like the mirror that they are, is that you are second, that you are below them. The secret here is to start honoring yourself, to start growing and developing for yourself, to respect yourself, and to love yourself on every aspect and in every and any possible way. Again, I'm going to repeat it. I'm not saying feel superior to your specific person. We're not talking about ego games here. You should feel equal to your specific person. They should feel equal to you. But under no circumstances should you feel inferior. Under no circumstances should you put yourself second all the time to their requests, to their demands, to their lifestyle, to everything that they ask for, everything that they do, even if the behavior is disrespectful. Then what you're doing is you're not loving yourself enough. You're loving them perhaps more than you love yourself. You're giving priority to your fear of losing them over the fear of losing yourself. And so then what they mirror back to you is that they're treating you as second best. So again, what happens here when you start taking them off the pedestal, when you start honoring yourself, when you start growing and developing yourself, when you start cultivating your own happiness, when you start becoming a whole person, an all-around awesome person, even without them, what they start receiving subconsciously is that you are first, that you are a priority, that you are worth investing into. that you are worth taking into account, that you are worth considering, that you are worth making plans around, that you are worth planning their life around. Because you're already giving all this to yourself, and so your specific person, who is a mirror of you, who's a mirror of your inner world, is just going to match that. Simple as that. So the advice here is this: you take them off the pedestal. You start honoring yourself. You start cultivating your inner happiness and your inner wholesomeness. You stop needing them to give you anything. At least you stop needing them more than they need you. You start living your best life. You start putting yourself first, and they're going to come. They're going to come much easier and much faster because they are your mirror, and so then they're going to be compelled to match that new energy that you're projecting. With all that being said, I'm going to wrap up this video here. I intend that this has helped. As always, I very much appreciate you guys being on this channel, watching this content. I love making this content for you. And as always, I look forward to seeing you all at the next video. Until then, take care and bye-bye.